Join me on the Business Immigration Benchmark, where I tackle all the immigration and global mobility challenges head on and provide direct, practical solutions. Follow us on Spotify and join the conversation.
My definition of global mobility is really, the act of helping an individual or an individual and his or her family move from one country to another. I know that there is a lot of domestic relocations, but my experience is primarily cross-border movements. So it's anything and everything that entails immigration, tax, pensions, social securities, banking, housing, shipment of goods. The act of helping somebody or somebody in their family move from one location to another. And so I think it's a very middle woman, humanistic, empathetic role that requires a lot of effective communication and active listening, because you're helping somebody through perhaps one of the most stressful yet exciting times of their lives.
Mobility is sourcing of position,
Effective
talent sourcing, and also basically also filling business requirements and moving people from A to B, or moving the position to the employee, which we actually see with remote work.
I would say the greatest feedback that I can give is to be open for feedback. What I like to do at every assignee and every case that I'm looking after is to have a very transparent and open and personal conversation with my employee.
I think the keyword in global mobility is global. And I think as global mobility professionals, we all have to have some global knowledge ourselves. I think it definitely helps if you yourself have ever moved or been on an assignment, whether a short-term or long-term assignment, so that you can relate. I think it's also good if global mobility professionals have experienced a move, even if it's within the same country, and have worked with themselves, different relocation partners and vendors, so that you can relate to what the employee may be going through. So I really would just say there is no such thing as only being focused on your country.
So basically, global mobility are partners to the business and to the HR community. We do understand the complexities of the region, the complexity of immigration, taxes, benefits, and what we add to the table is so much more to the HR team than not involving us from the beginning.
In my experience, there are two big ticket items that happen here. Either you are one front or you are divided. If you are one front, that's, in my experience and in my opinion, the best thing that can happen to you, because then you are one front to everyone. You are one front to the business, you are one front to the employee, you are one front to the company. And that allows to global mobility and HR overall to be successful. You drive initiatives together, you drive basically you're basically helping the business to grow through global mobility and enabling them to have the people where they need them for the business. But there's also the downside of maybe not having the one same front. In my experience, that is also happening in many companies. And when that happens, it is definitely frustrating for HR as a whole, but also for the different stakeholders that you touch base with. Because then again, to be on the other side, it's definitely the opposite, right? Instead of showing one front, you may be providing advice that is different from what HR was expecting or what HR has already given.
I think for HR, they have such a variety of different areas to cover that when it comes to global mobility, I think from their perspective, they're happy to have a bit of a basic understanding of what goes on with moving somebody. I think when it comes to, you know, like those technical questions, making sure they're on the right visa, or you know, the implications of maybe somebody going on a business visa visit for so many days, I think it's like for them to be able to rely on having that expertise of the global mobility function. I think that is really crucial for them.
The elusive seat at the table. I think it's just continuing to demonstrate the strategic values. So really aligning with the broader business goals and being agile with what the business needs.
Traditionally, global mobility falls within the HR function, and the various HR partners, whether that be talent acquisition, HR business partners, employee relations, we are working to serve one common goal, which is to ensure that we're supporting our employees and to ensure that we're balancing that support with the needs and the wants of the business.
I think it's a group of colleagues. We consider ourselves as part of the same team, as part of the same company. So we are, regardless if we belong to global mobility or to HR, we know we are part of the same team working towards a common goal. And we consider this as a shared responsibility. That's how our current relationship with HR is.